God is love. Oh, God is love. He's a God is love. Oh, God is love. God is love. Oh, God is love. He's a God is love. Oh, God is love. God is love. Oh, God is love. Oh, God is love. He's a God is love. Oh, God is love.
Yo. Salute, 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 salute.
God is love.
Apologies for that.
Oh,
I had to fix the comments weren't showing up in the screen. Here, my guy Nick G. Gonna talk about some Knicks. I know everybody's watching NFL right now. Detroit versus the Rams, not the greatest of freaking matchups. Even though Detroit, surprisingly, that first drive looked really good. But damn, Cowboys. Oh crap! How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Hey yo, y'all Cowboys look like trash. Yo, y'all Cowboys look terrible. But yo, hey, let me not talk trash. You only played one more game than the Jets, but I'm not here to talk trash, man. Here to talk about the Knicks, man. We're gonna talk about OG Anunoby's defensive impact on the Knicks. Also gonna talk about some trade rumors abound. My guy Nick G is in the building. He's in the StreamYard chat. About to get that shown on the screen. Sorry, guys, had to. Stupid mic does not stay in place. Of course, technical difficulties. All right, that should work. Salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here on this Sunday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. I appreciate you. Please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to also hit the dark notification bell to get every notification for every video I put out. Also, make sure to go to underdogfantasy.com to get match up to $100 on your first deposit. As I won yesterday. I told you guys, bro. I told you guys. You guys don't listen to me. I'm trying to help you guys get some money with Underdog Fantasy. You guys just don't believe me. I hit on the bet yesterday, the I Hartenstein bet with his rebounds. Y'all don't listen, man. But again, go to underdogfantasy.com. Prop bets galore. Excuse me. You can win some big bucks. But we're here tonight, man, to talk about several things, man. So many rumors popping up. Also want to talk about the OG Anunoby impact. I got my guy Nick G in the building with his I don't know, his his green screen. Yo, oh, what the excuse me. What's up, Nick G? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. You hear me?
I hear you perfectly, bro. Let me raise up your levels.
I should bring out my mic, but
No, it's fine, it's fine. I'll bring you up,
duct
man.
tape studio today, baby.
So he texted me that, and I seen it, and I've seen this background before. I'm like, all right, wait, hold on. That's what he meant by. And also, I seen green screen. But anyway, it looks nice. Very.
Oh no, it's about to change. Hold on, you just wait. Man.
I've seen that background so many days. That's Zoom, right?
No, this is whatever StreamYard gives.
I'm sorry, that's StreamYard. My bad. I'm stupid because I have Zoom at work, and I know you could I think there's one that's similar to that, but why did I say it was Zoom? My bad. It's a StreamYard. I'm slow. Anyway, we hit a night, man. Nick, how did you like yesterday's game, man? Slow start. But you see my son out there. Just want to make sure you give me some credit since you. Oh damn, Nick G, Papa, he'll be back in. But I want to tease him a little bit about my son Miles McBride finally coming through hitting threes. You know what I'm saying, man? Plate making a little bit with iHeart. People doubted the Sun. Let me say salute to people in the chat first and foremost before we get started. We got as Nick G comes back in, we got JJ in the building. Oh man, hold on. White Mike says, in spite of what I spider trade, I wanted that defense, but my Met fan sniper is mad tempting. Kerry Cox in the building. Daniel Berry in the building. A-Dub. Mega NYK salute my guy. Greg Castillo, my guy. As always, man. Are you guys going to really trade back for DeJounte Murray? Greg Castillo. Come on, man. Craig, let's talk. Hey, salute to my guy. Craig in the building, man. Salute. Said, go Lions. My mob lived in Michigan for 20. You know what? The Lions have been so bad. I can't hate on them if they do good. I hope they do good. I honest to God hope they do good. Like, what else? I can't talk trash about them. Jared Goff, I actually like him as a decent quarterback. I have nothing but I don't have anything bad to say about the Lions. And the Rams, I like Stafford, but the rest of the Rams I could care less for. Also, I like who's your man in the middle? The defensive lineman that does all the sword fighting and stuff for absolutely no reason. Aaron Donald. But yeah, let me see. Let me live. Salute. He says WBLS vibes. Wow. People don't know about WBLS in New York, bro. You said this vibes is WBLS? R&B ish? Nah. They said they're booing the heck out of Stafford, White Mike. Yeah, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Yeah, so how'd you like yesterday's game, my guy? Isma Rivas, salute, my guy. How'd you like yesterday's game, Nick? You know what I'm saying? Understood we got to a slow start. But there was one guy who stuck out in particular from the bench. Just wanted to get your color. I don't know why you rub me your head as if you don't know what I'm talking about. But
hey, yo, Malachi Flynn.
Whoa! Not the guy that had 3 fouls in the first half. Even though he did play relatively well. 9 points. Was a little. Yeah, I'm gonna. You're so opinionated. This guy will. If one of my guys does bad, this freaking jerk will text me at 7 a.m. in the morning to in his little stupid coded language, sit up there and tease me about Josh Christopher or freaking Boak Knight shooting up the club. But now that McBride hit some threes and McBride is producing, you know what I'm saying, holding it down off the bench, I don't hear nothing from Nick.
No, I mean, I'm going to give him props. It actually feels a little bit like when we started off with IQ. Remember, we used to be like, I hate it. And it reminds me of that. So I'm going to give him his props. I did say the last time I was on talking with you guys that Tibbs was very reticent to give Obi Toppin minutes if he wasn't going to get his shot right. It felt like it was similar in a similar sense, like McBride, aka Deuce, is not going to get his shot unless his shot is right, and he's not going to get more minutes unless his shot is going. So it really is shot dependent. He's stroking it well. No pause. No
whoa! Wowzers!
He's stroking the shot right. I mean, there's no better way to say it. He's hitting his threes. So as long as he's hitting his threes, and this is something incredible for this team, for any Knicks team outside of the Mike D'Antoni era, we're hitting threes, bro.
Yeah.
We're hitting threes. So as long as that keeps up, man, I got no complaints. Deuce it up, man. Deuce to the bubble goose or whatever you want to say. I don't know. I don't know how you young kids say it.
Young kids. This guy's probably young.
Yeah.
This guy. Anyway, yeah, but the Knicks, definitely. I gotta say one thing. We've talked about this before, man. Everything that Tom Thibodeau has said that he wanted to build this team in terms of the way we want to play, it comes to fruition either around the time he says it or a few months or so or the next season. 3-point shooting, corner 3-point shooting. When he first got here, said how important it was. We weren't one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the league, despite the fact that our percentage was that solid. We didn't take a lot of threes. That started to improve throughout the years. We talk about offensive rebounding in general, protecting the paint, that has been there. I want to say since he's been here, right? First year, when Mitch Robinson got hurt, came in, played really well. It was probably one of the best, if not the best, at one point, rim protectors in the league. Then obviously that's transcended from going from Mitchell Robinson, improved Mitchell Robinson to now iHeart, who, if you look at since January 1st, you have 4 Knicks in in top 10 plus minus, and iHeart I think is number 2 or number 3 out of all players since January 1st. He also talked about another thing too that I love. Tom Thibodeau spoke about it last year, turning our defense into offense, transition points, and I believe the Knicks. I'm not sure the last 2 games, but I know before the last 2 games, the Knicks were top 10 in transition points, despite the fact that we're not like a top team in steals. But you start to see, I want to say around, which game was it I'm thinking of? The 76ers game, where you started to see the Knicks, like, it sounds corny, but strategically use pace, right? In the sense of, look, there's a missed shot. Don't allow Embiid to get any rest, or just run them ragged. They don't have depth. They're going to have to rely on Maxey and Embiid to try to even have a flying chance in this game. Run them ragged. And, what I'm seeing from Tibbs is not just him implementing it or him preaching these things, but these guys are following through on it. And it doesn't matter who you put out there. And I love the fact, like what you just said right now, is so important that, look, if you can't shoot, you can't be on the floor. So all people say Tom Thibodeau doesn't like modern offenses and whatnot. It's like, hey, I just don't see it where it's like, look, if you can't shoot, you can't survive. And it's probably one of the reasons why guys like Cam Reddish didn't survive here, outside of other things, right? So I just love what Tom Thibodeau was preaching with this team, and it's coming to fruition no matter who's out there. So say what you want about Tom Thibodeau, but these players they're following through with it. But before we get to your trade news, I know you have a lot to talk about the trade news. I did want to talk about OG Anunoby. Once you get your color on his impact with the team, the guy has been, people have tossed around, including myself, the Luol Deng comparison. But oh crap, hold on, I have to take off your streamer out for like 2 seconds to show some slides. So just want to show people OG Anunoby's impact since he's got here. I mean, we've talked about 3-point defense, even though they haven't changed up the philosophy behind it. Defensive rating has improved. This is something that Tom Thibodeau has been lagging for the past year and a half. Our defense has suffered largely because we're trying to, you have Brunson, you have a Julius Randle, so you kind of compensate with your offense, but we always need that wing, right? So he went from having Grimes as defensive stopper to that. Then Grimes shot again, to Nick's point, shot wasn't falling. So you've kind of pivoted over to Josh Hart. Josh Hart. He's a decent defender. He's not what I would call a shutdown defender. And then now to OG Anunoby, a guy who, there's so many benefits to having OG Anunoby on the floor. He's an excellent isolation defender. Laterally, he's not the greatest, but he can stay in front of his man, north to south. Yeah. He's disruptive. He can play the passing lanes. He's a guy that he allows Tom Thibodeau to switch, which we've seen over the past few years. Tom Thibodeau's very reluctant on switching.
Yes.
And is it because of the personnel? Even we had guys like Bullock and Payton, Tom Thibodeau still preached, fighting over screens and whatnot. But you saw in that last game, not in the Mavericks game. What was the game we played before? Was it the Wizards? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna get the clip, but it was one play where you saw the switchability. It may have been the Mavericks, and you saw the full switchability on this play. Where you can switch from an OG to a pressure to who's not the greatest offenders, but you kind of waste more and more time. You make the ball handlers try to waste a little bit more time off the clock, disrupt them from running the pick and roll or just getting downhill and then kicking it out once the defense collapses in the paint. And as you can see on the chart on the screen here, if you see defensive rating, since January 1st, we're number 1 in the league points per game by the opponents, number 1 in the league rim defense. Even though rim defense was pretty bad. We've gone from 22nd to
It's not Mitch in there, so.
Right. So it's not Mitch, but having a guy like OG to disrupt ball handlers, right? And it takes a lot more pressure of whoever your help defenders are. It takes pressure off of Mitch, iHeart, even poor Jericho Sims, who suffered the little 2 games he played. 3-point defense has vastly been improved, and it's the same defensive principles: protect the paint, and then secondary protect the outside, closeouts and rotations on defense on the outside. But OG Anunoby just affords so much of defense. And you look at the plus minus again. We're first in the league in plus minus at 15.7. So I just want to get your color on OG Anunoby, man. What are you seeing specifically with OG Anunoby game to game, that that's bolstered our defense. Do you see the Luol Deng comparisons? And even on offense, do you think that we could do a little bit more with OG and Anunoby? I have some ideas, but I want to get your
So
first.
there's a lot that I gotta go through with OG real quick. First of all, I think the trade was kind of telegraphed by Tibbs and the way he feels. And what I mean by telegraph, it starts off first and foremost with that game that IQ was cooking, right? And Tibbs took him out early. It was a couple of days before the trade, and you were real disappointed. I can't remember who they played, but I think they ended up losing that game.
We lost. It was the not the Bucks. The Bucks was a way first game where he took him out and he come back in. It was the
It may have been, or was it Boston? Either way, it doesn't matter really. So the big thing was we took IQ out, and they brought back in RJ. Right? You remember that?
OKC.
OKC. So we lost that game, and Tibbs' words were he wanted more size on the floor, right? And even though RJ is having an improved defensive year, he's not OG defensive type player, right? And we can see the trade-off that we just made. We have a guy that can lock down people and is shaving points off the board from the other team, but then also too, we're losing the scoring as we can see what RJ is doing right now in Toronto. We're losing creation points or that third creator, technically third and fourth creator without IQ, without RJ Barrett. So the trade-off is real interesting because now we're actually starting to hold people under 100 points.
Yep.
So whereas we're not, OG is scoring like 5 points less, but he's taking away 10 points away from the opposing team. I think before the trade we were holding people to like 105 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, or 110, somewhere in that range. So that's close to a 20-point swing. Maybe, like 10, depending on the team, of course. That's a big swing. Flip back to last year. Remember, just to build on your point with the switchability, last year Randall said he liked the switching defense. He was better in a switching defense. Like he could calculate it because really all it is that if the man has the ball, I follow the guy with the ball and I switch and I tell the person that was following the person previously to switch with me, and I switch and I take the person and then I switch off onto the other person. And a lot of people, old school coaches, think that's a lazy man defense, and that's not Tibbs's way. Judge Randall however you want to judge Randall, but Randall is more comfortable with a switchable defense, and he actually looked good in a switch. For me, the size that we have now, is so versatile because I feel like OG is pretty much the same size as Randall, but probably like 20 pounds less or maybe 15 pounds less. Like we could play a different kind of bully ball and still keep the 3-point shot up. Because Randall really, and I'm gonna say this. I know we're talking about OG Anunoby, but it's really his effect. What Randall is doing right now is so impressive because he's not just changing his game for the third or fourth time since being a part of this team. He's going to the basket. He's being more efficient. He's showing leadership in that sense. And even though, like, we could talk about trading him, we could talk about, like, improving that position or that spot, what he is doing, I wouldn't want to trade or just give up for anyone. He's making it hard for you to just give him. He's so valuable, or the way he's constantly tweaking his game, it's so valuable and malleable to success that it's so hard to give that up because his contract is not KD contract.
Right.
It'll never be that high, but he's adapting his game. And of course, everything is about the playoffs. What he does in the playoffs matters the most. Same thing with OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby has not played in the playoffs. At least not big numbers like when it comes to their championship year.
Mm-hmm.
He was hurt. So like what kind of experience he could give, we don't know really. So it's a wait and see. But what he's doing for the team, that Luol Deng effect, yes, sitting in the corner. And someone was saying something about how that's a lot of that's wasted opportunity just sitting in the corner. And I'm like, well, that means the person that's guarding OG Anunoby can't double team at the rim, which
Right.
spaces the floor for Randall to get to the rim.
Right.
And he's in a way, and this is the thing that I've always said about RJ. This is one thing I said when Kimbo was here. If RJ continued that 40% shooting from the corners, and you had my imagination at the time was Evan Fournier on the other side of the corners, which he's a good corner three shooter. Randall will never get double teamed at the rim. That was my take. Looking at what we're seeing now, Randall getting to the rim, the way we're shooting the three, the amount of passes and assist percentage that has risen in this team, the OG effect is without holding the ball, he's improved the team. That is big. That's so much intangible, and you can't equate that, bro. I just don't see that. He's not touching the ball, and he's affecting the game.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's when we for years, 2019 guys, we have to remember when Randall was here, and we were crying about the awful spacing, the Marcus Morrises, the Bobby Portises, and the Randalls, and to see it night and day. And look, RJ, of course, is my son, but again, OG just doesn't need the ball in his hands. Cuts to the basket. RJ cuts to the basket as well too, but OG and Anunoby, he first came as like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just cutting to the basket.
Yeah.
Which bodes well, especially with iHeart, who's now starting.
Yep.
And iHeart's such a willing passer. It creates that much of a fluid offense. If you look at Brunson's numbers, assist numbers, they've shot up since OG's been here. Obviously, without RJ being there, and guys who can actually hit the shot, again, opens up space in the paint. I would love for Brunson and Randall to freaking run a little bit more pick and roll, but
pick and roll, and they need to do more, like a lot more. Look at the Dame Giannis effect. And that pick and roll is damn near unstoppable.
And they finally started doing it, because at first they were lost to like, how do we make this work? But yeah, they're starting to look a little bit.
I think Dame is hurt right now, right?
They are. You said no. The Bucks are second.
I know, but Dame is hurt right now.
Oh, Dame is hurt. Oh, my bad. I heard you wrong.
I think he is. I think so. I know he missed a game or two, but I think he's hurt.
I'm not sure.
I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're talking Knicks right now, but we have to seize. That was one of my things to talk about, which is seizing the opportunity when it comes to this trade season and building on what we just added with OG Anunoby. And we still got to flesh out OG Anunoby because, and I want to get your take on this. Are we utilizing him wrong on offense, or what could we do to maximize OG Anunoby on offense? And I want to frame this real quick. Bleacher Report said OG Anunoby is expected to receive a contract.
Oh Lord, yep. We talked about this yesterday. I have a question to ask you too. Go ahead.
Far above 118. For a guy, and I brought up the criticisms and stuff like that for a reason. Okay?
Yep.
For a guy that's going to be making more than 118 in 4 years, 4 year above 118, you're looking at like 30-something a year. Based on the new cap, he'll be the highest paid player on the team. Let that set in for a second. He's a role player that does not handle the ball.
Yep.
Is going to sit in the corner.
Yep.
Defend the best player on the other team.
Yep.
the highest player on the team,
Yes. Yup.
and people are already mad at where he is right now and what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the effect. He's shaving 20 points away from the other team. At least that's part of the effect. Add Mitch to that, we might be doing Detroit Pistons stuff. Remember that team had the longest streak of holding teams under 80.
80. Yep.
I
Yep. Yep.
still think that as good as Ihart has been, and he's been incredible,
Yeah, it's been.
Mitch in the middle adds something completely different.
Adds a different element defensively, bro. Just
It's
all right.
completely different.
So two things, because we talked about this yesterday, and just hold this question in mind. Ask Ace and ask Jay Boogie. Do you think the Knicks were playing a dangerous game by having to play an OG Anunoby, who, remember, he was going around and saying he was looking for 40 plus, which 40 million, really? But he's a guy that was complaining about playing time with the Raptors, allegedly. And then essentially what CAA was able to do was able to get him to move from clutch to CAA with the promise, allegedly, that he was going to get paid. Now, he said he'd give the Knicks a discount. And I asked Ace and Jay Boogie, are the Knicks playing a dangerous game? Because when you look at what happened with Josh Hart, now Josh Hart helped him with the cap situation this summer. But when you look at Josh Hart, who I like, you could sit up there and argue he ain't worth no damn $20 million that he's getting. And I'm just saying with the Knicks, now you've promised another player, allegedly, that you're going to pay him this amount of money. If the Knicks sit back and say, damn, he's a good complimentary piece, we'll allow him to go out to the market and see what they'll give him. That could rub him the wrong way. He might be like, hey, whoa, I thought we had a deal in place where I give you guys a little discount, but you guys take care of me. And imagine if we don't resign him. So just keep that in mind. I do want to answer your question about the offense. I will say this. Yesterday, way too many times where, and I've seen this against the 76ers, right, where he has a mismatch and we don't get the ball in the paint, right? It makes no sense for him not post up Patrick Beverly. He had a chance against the 76ers he didn't take. To not post up Gilliard yesterday, who's literally maybe 5 inches shorter than him. So, and I've seen him when Pascal was out last year, at the beginning of last season. You saw OG Anunoby on the ball. He wasn't great on the ball. It wasn't like they utilized him heavy, but you saw him utilize a little more of his shooting off the dribble. You saw him hit more shots in the mid-range, a little bit of the post-up. So I think it's there. I would like for them to feature him a little bit, like how Randall will try to feature Mitchell Robinson, even though that's it wasn't like a lot of chances, but a chance here and there. I would like Tom Thibodeau once he gets those mismatches to kind of utilize that, because literally the first post up that Randall had on Gilliard when they switched and the freaking what the freak, I'm drawing a freaking blank now as to who he freaking played yesterday. Holy crap, I'm drawing a blank. Who just played yesterday? Vince Williams, Gilliard, the Grizzlies. Holy crap.
Sorry.
So
I'm reading contract stuff. So
go ahead. As soon as Randall switched up onto Gilliard had to foul him. It's like I can't handle Randall in the post. So I would like to see them utilize him a little bit more in the post. He's not a great pick and roll scorer. His dribble is kind of like
it's
great.
It's whack. Now, if you think I was critical of RJ's dribble.
Oh man, yeah. OG he's north to south, but
he. You know what's funny too? Like, if I were to give him like homework to do in the off season, it would be a Marbury drive, the football tuck.
The
football tuck. Just protect the ball, get to the rim, and finish. Because he could get there. Once he gets there, he could rise up on people.
Yeah.
Or like working a kind of quiet-ish. This is very like tall work, but what I'm saying is, if he could get that quiet level efficiency with no wasted movement, like one dribble pull up, two dribble move, like pump fake, whatever you got to do to within the box. That's basically what MJ used to do. Within the box, I'll do all my movements pre-dribble. Once I dribble, I know what I do, and decisive dribble pass, shoot, whatever it is. if he could be that decisive with the ball, I'll be fine with who he becomes. But that might be 2 years down the line. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. That is. That would be
So
interesting if he get that Kawhi Leonard mid
yeah,
range shot to go, man. Because he shows flashes at times, but it's like you're sitting up there and you complain about more playing time. It's like you're a solid player, but you're more commonly at this point than anything else. But I would like to ask you, and thank you for the 2 hour super chat. Paris Ducky says, Anunoby can guard Himi, Maxi, Tatum, Brown, etc. By the way, just to, real quick before Nick talks about the agency, just want to say, so against Maxi went 2 for 8 versus OG and Anunoby and still scored, 29 points against the Knicks. 2 for 8 against OG and
yeah,
Anunoby. Cat went 2 for 5 against OG, even though it should have been 2 for 6 because that was not a foul when he shot that air ball.
yeah.
Kuzma went 4
I'll
for
be
7.
right back quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
go. Kuzma went 4 for 7, if I remember. But when I was watching it, it wasn't as if Kuzma like cooked him. Embiid hit like 2 or 3 shots on him, like 3 for 4 or something like that. But again, it wasn't like his primary defender. Again, the best scorer on OG Anunoby was literally really Kyrie Irving, who he struggled against. He went 5 for 10 against Kyrie, even though in the second half he did a lot better against, or at least in the fourth quarter. Let me say. He did a lot better against Kyrie. I would like to ask Nick this when he gets back. We'd love to talk about if he thinks Tom Thibodeau, if OG Anunoby makes Tom Thibodeau a little bit lazy. I thought in that Mavericks game, Tom Thibodeau played a bad game versus why can't I get this to go? Played a bad game against Kyrie Irving. Should have doubled him a lot more because that was the most effective move. Get the ball off Kyrie Irving's hands, straight and simple. Don't allow him to go downhill. Just catch him, try to trap him atop one of the wings, and it was relatively effective. So I don't know why Tom Thibodeau didn't go back to it. And by the way, I think I have this actually monetized, so I can't even show that. I apologize for that, guys. I forgot I had this monetized. Should have not made this monetized. Where's my thumbnail screen? Hopefully, let me know if this the stream shuts down because they might put me in a box for showing that video with it being monetized. So I just thought that Tom Thibodeau could have done a better job. I do at times think that Tom Thibodeau just way too late in the game, might be a little bit lazy with how he adjusts the defense. Again, when we play some of these top elite teams, the Bucks and teams out in the West, even when we play the Pacers again, how do you play teams that have several shot creators, several playmakers on the squad? So we'll see. But what OG Anunoby has been doing, like I said, the percentages I've been providing you guys. I believe he is number 2 since January 1st in plus minuses. Last time I checked, I want to say he was number 2 in plus minuses. Let me see if I can find this. I had it somewhere, but I mean the guy in terms of just, I won't say shutdown ability. Let me see if I can find it. Plus minus.
Yeah, he's not a shutdown guy. He's just erasing. He just makes it tough. That's really what Tibbs has historically done with the ice defense. It's just making it tough. You're not gonna get into your flow of offense easy ever. But does he make him lazy? And I heard your question. Yeah and no, but at the same time, it's like Tibbs goes in with like a generic game plan, and he sticks to it. And they did make adjustments. It's just a little bit too late. And then again, who's gonna stop Kyrie?
That's true. That's true. By the way, he had 31 yesterday.
He didn't really do much after that. He went off for a while. He just hit a couple timely shots and make some good passes. I'm not disappointed or distraught by the Mavs game. I'm disappointed in the way the game started, which we've always had bad starts, or sometimes, it's getting few and far in between, but we've had bad starts in the past. With or without OG. Who's gonna stop Kyrie? I still come back to that.
That's true. I just wish we would have got the ball out of his hands a little bit more. I've seen Kyrie split defense as well too, but I just thought when we sent us the double teams, that fourth quarter, granted he's probably a little bit also tired too, but it was effective. It was just a little bit too little too late with him. But I do want to ask that question or re-ask that question, man. Do you think the Knicks are playing a dangerous game? Because I don't know how you pay him. They said maybe 37.5 million, and like you said, it'd be the highest paid. So Randall's chomping at, and we've seen Randall before. I think it was you pointed out that when Kemba came and they gave him the jersey rollout versus Randall, who literally had that all NBA team the year before, that you think that it rubbed Randall the wrong way. That's why he was throwing his little passive aggressive tantrums and kind of the whole thumbs down. Now, if he gets paid next year, OG Anunoby, and then now that means, and Randall could be like, look, I'm not. He might go to the World Wide West and Leon and be like, hey, so what do y'all think about me once my contract comes clear in 2025, 26, or post 26? So I don't know, that might rub him the wrong way next year. Brunson, I think he's always gonna be looking to get paid. He's gonna be like, look, I'll play this contract.
Brunson's due for a pay.
It is. I'll still play, obviously, but do you think the Knicks are playing a dangerous game by doing this OG Anunoby agency switch and trading for him with the promise of paying him next year?
I don't mind what I see from it. That's not a problem. The real thing is, can they it's all about who's the next guy. So I'm doing the math, right? Right now we have 22 mil remaining for next season based on all the contracts.
Oh wait, hold up.
iHeart gotta get paid.
I got you. Hold up. Let me get to this.
I'm talking about, like, we are over the cap, so we're gonna be a tax team. We hadn't hit to hit the hard apron. We'll be at 22. We have $22 million of space. So Malachi Flynn has room, has to get paid. iHeart is a big one. We have the early bird rights on him. Got the qualifying offer on Precious Achua. It's a lot next year. A lot of money got to be paid out, and I still think there's some things that I think that's going to pan out by the end of the season, and we could get to that later on. But after the trade season ends. But when I look at what's going on, it's just like iHeart is coming up in value. He's earning his payday that's coming.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't want to trade Mitch. I would want to keep both. I don't mind paying 15 for two high quality centers just to keep both of them healthy. I mean, who knows, man? I just can't say.
I don't see a guy being a 30 million player. Yeah, right now, I
don't think he should be a $30 million player. Like, he should be 24, maybe 27 tops. Like, he should get the RJ contract.
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to put it.
And if you see it, we're at 158, I believe, and I'm blind. So you guys are watching the video can see this. I can't see this. This looks like gerbil scratch to me. But right now, the Knicks are at 159. The first, we're under 23 million? No. Oh, the hard cap, the first apron is 172. The next apron is 182 for this season. So, the Knicks right now, a lot of things we have to think about. I do have some names I want to talk about trade-wise. One coming up that just came up today that could be your iHeart replacement. Has some years on him, but he does have the injury concerns. Had it in Chicago, and that's Wendell Carter. But Wendell Carter, to me, is, when he's healthy, I love his game. Can score in the paint, can defend. He's not a crazy wild player, but he's highly productive. Would love to see him in a Tom Thibodeau defense, and that's only if iHeart is, he goes past that $60 million range. Because even looking at iHeart, when you look at iHeart, is it the system? Is it Tom Thibodeau? Because remember, every team or all the fans that have I follow SB Nation, the Clippers, the Rockets, Cleveland, all their fans say they like iHeart, but it's always, there's diminishing returns from him. Now, obviously, you haven't seen this season, and I hope it's not a blip. We saw the blip when there was a well. I just wonder, is he good because of the system, or was it that the Knicks unearthed this uncut, unfound gem in iHeart and really allowed him to expand his game. Even he's just doing more of the same. Really good passing, defending at the rim.
I mean, but to be honest with you, last year he pretty much did a lot of the same thing. Is he was good last year. He was
Yeah.
in the top 10 of centers with rebounding too. So like from when he says system first and foremost, what Tibbs runs when offensively, he demands offensive rebound. Um, and both Mitchell Robinson and also iHeart are top tier rebounders from the offensive game. What he's doing defensively is kind of building on what he did for the Clippers. He was also ran when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers really didn't value him as much, and they let him go. Like he was good, but he just wasn't good enough for us to keep next to Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the Clippers. He was good, but they picked Zubac over him, and Zubac was coming in unhealthy the next year. And they knew he was injured, but they still said Zubac was better.
Mm-hmm.
So he fits what the Knicks want, and this is where people have to at least give Tibbs some type of credit. Nolan's Noel, iHeart, Mitch, Noah, Pau Gasol had a resurgence. Cat, what's the other one?
Was
the
Nazir
Goldie
Muhammad
Jang.
Was Nazir
He's
Muhammad?
had
Was
Huh?
Nazir Muhammad under Tibbs?
no, I don't think he may have been, but I remember Pau Gasol. I can't remember
Pau Gasol?
Nazir Muhammad. But all in all, like when you look at it, that's a lot of bigs that had career years under Tibbs.
Mm.
And if you want to say he doesn't develop players, well, one thing you can say at least is he develops bigs.
Right.
So that's something you could take to the bank. Mitch is still, I think he was on track to being a defensive player candidate, or at least in the all defensive team discussion. iHeart is definitely that now. OG Anunoby, I think because he's in New York under Tibbs, he's gonna get the praise, and he may end up being a defensive, all team defense candidate at some point in time. Like they'll start talking about him because he's affecting defense. So, we'll see, but I think iHeart's contract is gonna really muddy up next year. And if anything else, up until draft night, I think until draft night, we could trade him and get something back for him. So that if we do just keep Mitch and trade iHeart, something like that.
Do you think he's getting to that point with Mitch?
No. I think Mitch is just fine. Because he's not going to give you some of the offense that iHeart's going to give you. And I would prefer to keep both.
You got two centers making $15 million plus.
Yeah. And that's if no one else gives him more money. iHeart,
That's also true.
And Mitch's contract decreases in value too.
Right.
He still got 2 more years, I think.
Yes, because he got paid last summer, right?
Yeah. So you should have 2 more years.
Two.
It'll be next year and the year after.
You're right. Yeah, it's just this is what happens, man. The Knicks are sending into a we're striding upwards to a first apron, second apron team, man, with our ECF dream. So this is how it goes, man. Before 25-26 is gonna be a very interesting time, man, because you're gonna be looking at this team. Okay, we got to give. We don't have to give, but we'll feel very compelled to give Jalen the max, unless, and this will be some shiesty-ish. It could reverberate. We were like, you know what, we'll go. Even though you're still gonna have to pay him, but Spider, who will be a free agent that year, I believe, 26 as well. And then also, how do you handle Randall? Are you extending Randall? Are you looking elsewhere? Are you even trading before that? Because now you're hearing these rumors that the Knicks are possibly looking to trade Randall, which I don't think they're putting out there per se that they want to trade Randall. I think they're just trying to get feelers to see, okay, we messed up the first time, not trading Randall after all NBA season. What's the feelers out there for his value now that it's it's kind of ascending back towards that I wouldn't call all NBA, but it's ascending back to that level of he's at least a top 20 player in the league. And then besides that too, man, you have a bunch of role players that I don't know. I think Josh would be off. Would Josh be off by 26 or 27? Josh, OG, I guess would still be there. So there's a lot to think about regarding the cap. We get to that, but I know Nick wanted to talk about the trade rumors, and there's a whole bunch of players we could talk about regarding the Knicks trading for. You did want to talk about RJ for a little bit. I know you wanted me to.
Yeah. We can talk about RJ. Let's give him props. Let's give your son.
Okay.
Your sperm has quality somewhere.
So what did you see in these past few games that makes you say something?
You know what? Give Danko or whatever his name is credit. He is bringing the best out of RJ.
Wow!
That's you done?
Let's just take a moment to process. Just give me 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, talk about it.
I think his name is Danko or whatever it is. He really is putting RJ in good situations to go downhill. But the thing that I really want to like chime in with is it's funny how somebody who was the future of the franchise looks like a secondary player next to RJ.
Are you talking about Scotty Barnes?
Yeah, he looks like a third wheel in the mix. That's really what.
If you look at the usage rates, bruh, and if you look at the games, I watched the Lakers game.
I didn't watch that one. I think I watched a game or two before that one.
The one where they beat. I'm forgetting. Damn, I'm forgetting. But I said the same thing. Your man Scotty Barnes. Because I'm in a chat on Twitter, and we joke with these Canadian dudes who watch the Knicks, but they're also Raptors fans. And Scotty Barnes, like you said, looks like third fiddle to RJ and IQ.
Yep.
So I don't know what it is. People put and here's the thing too that's weird. Scotty Barnes, I'm not the biggest fan of Scotty Barnes. He has improved this year. His shooting has improved drastically. So and I think he was thinking, okay, OG's going got one less problem. Pascal's on his way out. Pascal he's looking to get paid. He wants to get traded. He wants to just leave and get paid. And what they're setting up now is like, oh no, you're not going to be that guy, Scotty, because I think the previous coach, and Nick Nurse, I think was a big believer in Scotty Barnes. I'm not sure about this coach. This new coach, and Masai Ujiri loves his functional bigs, so I don't think Scotty is, it's not. I don't think it's doom and gloom for Scotty yet, but it is interesting, like you said, that the two guys, RJ and IQ, or at least you said RJ, have been looking like the main guys for that team. RJ playing late against the Lakers, even though that foul was trash. NBA, you should be ashamed of yourself for that garbage foul you called on RJ Barrett with AD. But yeah, and even IQ too has been looking like it's a Kings game I watched too, where they were featuring IQ heavy in that game. End of the game versus the Kings, very a tight game. De'Aaron Fox and IQ is fun to watch. Those two goes back and forth, and IQ with the ugly three that he missed at the end. But yeah, that's a very interesting note. I don't know what's happening, bro. I'm not even sure they keep this coach long term.
By what I see, I think so. I mean, and the thing is that they're not actually being used any too much different. It's probably running off like 2 more extra screens than they would in the Knicks. So it's not really that much. It's all about getting downhill. Same thing. It's all in the same theory. It's just it's going to be off like 2 screens, 3 screens, stuff like that. Go downhill. Just keeping people off of you and forcing multiple switches and causing the passes out of it. Like, it's nice. I'm just saying, like, one of the guys from one of the Raptors podcasts was like, RJ's an efficient scorer at the rim, and he's never been that. Sometimes the well does get a hole, or the pool gets a hole in it, and it just empties out. So I like what I'm seeing from RJ. I like how they're using both RJ and Quickly, and they're finally getting their chance. Scotty Barnes is very interesting because he started off the season very well. Maybe Pascal has to leave as well, but RJ did not go there thinking I'm going to play second fiddle to Scotty Barnes.
Agreed. And
like,
by the way,
that's just facts.
And by the way, which makes me sick to my stomach, which makes me want to throw up, RJ Barrett, since the trade from New York, since January 1st, your man RJ Barrett in 7 games is shooting 72% at the rim. He's shooting 50% from the corner 3 and 48% from non-corner threes. Shooting he's shooting 50% from all threes, 56% from the corner 3. Am I reading that right? And 48% from non-corner threes. He hasn't taken enough corner threes to really qualify, but non-corner threes, which is not.
But he started the season off like that. I don't mind that. You really want to see him do it for a full season.
Yeah. And
the other thing is he did not want to be. He wanted to be the man here in New York, and that's the thing about Randall, especially with Obi Toppin and RJ. Like, those guys had to step aside for Randall. So, it's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I'm glad to see him flourish in particular, being the guy. He's the most level-headed out of Morant, Zion. He's the most healthy one out of all 3 too. So
true.
I'm just saying he might be the best pick out of all if he could continue, but he has to give you a whole season. You can't just 7 games, 5 games. I don't care about that. Give me a whole season, and I'm following him, and I want to see it happen.
Yep. Agreed, man. Just watch those games, man. Kings, Lakers. I forget the first game they played where they won. RJ had the 19 points. Was it a pain? And again, it's if you look at it, look, RJ is not giving you crazy whole bunch of new moves, but
no,
they are allowing RJ to go more downhill.
Get downhill, draw fouls, finish at the rim. That's all you want. Make the pass when it's open. But they're giving him more screens to keep people off of him. Like, they're doing it much more creatively.
How'd you feel about what your man Carmelo said about RJ Barrett being?
I did not hear that. I didn't hear anything.
All right. Let me cue it up for you. But your man. Yeah, and look, I can't disagree with Carmelo. I can't disagree. RJ Barrett was, he wasn't this, extremely charismatic guy, deep voice, kind of monotone, blah, blah, blah. RJ Barrett. Let me see if I can find it. I'll try to put it up here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is mellow, man. Even though I like their little, I like the show that he has with Mero.
Mero, yeah.
I gotta say this. A lot of these former athletes, man, they have some solid podcasts. All right, let me see if I can play this. Let me know if
he's just a bland player, bro.
Yeah.
He's just like it's not. That's not a shot. That's not disrespect. Nah. He's just a lot of people. I ask a lot of people who are Knicks fans and see what they say, and just like he's just not.
Bro,
he's good. He get it done sometimes, but it's not an
even
exciting player. Like, you don't know if he got 4 or 26.
Exactly. He's just going to the rack crazy every time, lefty, and then the personality too. It's just like
bland.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's home now. He's home, so he might be good.
He's good because he's a candidate. He's in the crib.
I don't think RJ leaving has something to do with it, maybe, but I don't think it had
More
anything to
touches,
do with
though.
it because OG could do the same thing RJ doing. He just don't demand it the way that RJ demanded to be a part of the offense. Like OG is cool sitting on the wing and moving around and cutting and waiting for somebody to swing it to him and knock down a three. He's still gonna go play defense, no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas RJ, if he gotta score 20. You know what I'm saying? So where that 20 is gonna come in at? Your 20, 23, 24 is the third option on that team.
Yeah.
So now you feel like I'm putting up 24. I'm the third option. I ain't really getting the, you know what I mean? Like, all right, man, I gotta go.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like he probably was feeling that. Like, I'm ready to.
Really dip up out
Yeah,
there.
what I'm sure he was questioning it.
Oh man. Yeah, that was Melo speaking on RJ. To your point, I just don't know if it was always that RJ looked at it like, yo, I gotta be the man. Cause he played well with freaking Shea. He played well that one year when he played alongside Wiggins, and he was never the number one guy then. I just never felt. Look, I think that him and Randall kind of their games there's just way too much overlap. But I feel like if RJ, how can I put it? So okay, there probably is a middle ground because I do feel that at times where RJ, whenever RJ is utilized in a read and react, not all the time, but there are games. I can remember every game he played against the Miami Heat or whatever. He was featured in a read and react, and he'd go off, right, where they put the ball in his hands to kind of run the offense. And he went off. And it wasn't all the time, but I just remember that Heat game 2 years ago. He had 46 points. I know it was a loss, but the kid RJ Barrett, I mean, getting the proper switches, everything, attacking hero, and the boy he went to Cleveland, I'm forgetting his dude's name. It was beautiful to see. But if RJ Barrett's freaking jump shot fell, man, I think RJ would have been fine. I know everybody remembers that one thing where RJ, he shot the three near the end of a quarter. He said, "Oh, I'm not going back in," like joking around. I'm like, I don't know. I want to agree with Melo on the fact that look, RJ was bland. It is what it is. But to say he needs to be the number one guy, I don't think as much as like Tracy McGrady when he had to leave Toronto because he couldn't play alongside his talented ass cousin Vince Carter. I don't think RJ was that guy. I think if he could have fit in, he would have. But
at the same time, he didn't go to Toronto and just be like, "I'm falling back. I'm gonna help Scotty Barnes be the best." Like,
yeah,
he's like, "I'm taking it."
That's true, but it's also I think they were like show and prove. I think it's always like there's a certain sense of consciousness you enter once you're traded away from your originally drafted team. Like all the butterflies are gone now, and it's like, oh crap, this is a business. I'm on my own. All that nice crap they were feeding me when I got drafted and trying to meet my family and dudes and people from the company or from the Knicks will call my mom and my pops to see how he's doing and all that fake crap, man. That is all a business. And I think he got a taste of that after the Donovan Mitchell trade or that whole fiasco. But now he's like, and I don't know if you've seen it where Schroeder's trying to like show him something on the court, and RJ just ignore him like, yeah, I don't really like. What do you? Like, I'm here to kill. I just think right now, with a team in Toronto Raptors, they're probably not gonna. I don't know where they are right now. They probably could make the play in, but I don't think they're.
They could.
But they're saying like, look, every man for themselves. It's Ravenous Wolves right now. We don't really have a sense of a plan right now because we still got Siakam. We just traded OG. We're trying to, clear the team out, built for the future. So I think everybody's like, yo, every man for himself right now. I don't know, man. I just don't see as RJ as much as ravenous as Carmelo tried to make him out to be. But
no, I don't think he's like a bad guy for even in what I'm saying. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's a bad player or anything like that. I just feel like sometimes you need to know your role, and I hate let's say one thing that made the big three in Boston work was that they were at the end of their careers and then they stepped back and was like, you know what, let's play a role and make this work so we can win a championship, right? Instead of all of them going there and trying to be the man. What I like to see from players is, hey, know your pecking order very quickly, adapt, and go after a championship. Because I do feel like RJ could contribute on a championship level team, and I've always been touting this: play hard defense. If you do that, you could get on the court with any coach. You'll be with any team. If you hit those corner threes, is the easiest three on the planet. You're gonna be able to be on any team, space the floor, and command defenses pay attention to you. That makes it easier on everyone else. That's simple offense and keeping basketball simple. Making the pass when you see more than one person on you, which means that if someone's double teaming you, someone is free. If you could pass the ball out of a double team, that means you could go on on any court anywhere in America, in Europe, in Canada, in Mexico, wherever you want. You'll always have a spot. And I always felt like those three areas RJ did the antithesis of, like, he didn't really live up to. Making the pass when necessary, making the three when, or to keep the floor space. And then also too, like, you add in the big sinker. He was elite at getting to the rim and could not finish at the rim.
Yep.
Now he's adapted, and he started this last year. He's doing high floaters off the window, off the glass, and getting it to drop in. Scoop layups instead of like actual, finger rolls and all that stuff. He's doing things to improve, like adapt a good finishing package. And I like what he's doing. He's going to improve and he's going to get there. It's not going to be flashy, like Carmelo said. I actually don't like some players' analysis, the older players like Gilbert Arenas and stuff like that. Don't like their analysis because sometimes they don't state their biases, because like Carmelo was a for the lights kind of player. Like he was about the lights. He was about the flash. RJ has been on teams where he's played second fiddle to Zion. He stepped back. Like I can't say that RJ wouldn't, and RJ did step back to Randall. But he does want his touches. Just like IQ, who wanted to start, they both wanted to have a team basically built around them. Or to at least be a big time contributor and to get a lot more credit than they did. And with Brunson here, he wasn't going to get that second fiddle credit. I think being second fiddle is okay, but I don't feel like he has that. I want to be third fiddle. Like no one.
On my other screen. Where is this coming from? Wireless call. I got you. I don't know why this is not showing. My bad. Finish your point, Nick. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah. And whoever that was, I don't know if you want people to take calls, but yeah, I just feel like RJ never wanted to step back. So I mean, it is what it is. I think RJ will be fine.
Sorry. Let me get... Yo, salute. Who's this?
Hello?
Yes, hello, sir.
Hey, it's your neighbor.
Who?
Are you there?
Who's my neighbor?
Listen, I got a package for you.
All right. Yo. I knew it was a troll, bro. It was like, come on, son. It's your neighbor. I got a pet. Come on, son. Stop. I can just feel it.
That's funny.
I can't even lie, man. That's my animal spirit from back in the day, man. I used to make prank calls as a kid. We used to have the freaking rotary phones. But anyway, thank you, neighbor.
Yeah, but what do you think about that comment? Like, does that?
He's not wrong in that RJ isn't a flashy player. I do like the point that you bring up about there are guys who live in like like they live for the moment. They're moment guys. And
Yeah.
when we talk about this is why I have so much respect for Jimmy Butler, because there's a certain amount of IQ that goes into the game where you have to know when you got to be the guy. You have to know how to preserve your body. You have to understand going out there and just giving you 40 points in Charlotte because I can is probably not smart if I've already suffered some injuries this season and I need to get other guys involved, something that guys like Westbrook didn't do. That's why Westbrook getting to the playoffs without KD and losing the first round because he was so busy trying to get triple doubles. He wasn't focused on getting other guys, The Rock, all those young, impressionable. This is going to be another. Yo, hello, salute. Who's this?
Hello.
All right, yeah, this guy. So yeah, that's how I see it with some of these guys, man. Melo Gilbert I've heard some of the dumbest. I heard from Gilbert when he said Arthur Thompson, who I believe 2021, that he's not going to be an impact player because what he was averaging now, and I'm like, dogs, he's on the Pistons. He's not getting featured. Somehow he's not going to be like a number one player or something like that. And I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about, Gilbert? You make absolutely no sense. And I have a feeling a lot of these guys don't even watch these plays. They just look at the score sheet, look at a few highlights, say, oh, yeah, no, it ain't going to work. When I've watched Arthur Thompson show flashes of being a good two-way, not saying he's going to be a great scorer, but in terms of his defense, like what he can provide you on the floor if you continue to kind of build his game up. And I'm talking about he builds the game, not the team do it. I don't know, just Gilbert so he just says some crazy. He says some good stuff at times. Like, for instance, he said, if you want to make the draft, instead of making it 2 days, how about just... Jesus Christ. He said his number is verified. Yo, salute.
Hi, please don't be mad.
All right, I'm not going to take any more calls, man. You guys is trolling. This is ridiculous, man. I wish I could screen the calls, but I don't have what some other channels. I'm about to pause or mute the what's the name, because this is ridiculous. But yeah, that's why with Melo, man, I just think there are certain players where that sense of IQ, how to manage your body, how to manage yourself throughout the season versus trying to just build up your stats and just load up and look good for the stats, and then by the time it's playoffs. The defense knows how to hone in on you. They're gonna send doubles your way. Some of the best defenders try to bump try to bump you off your square, and then you're trying to get it to other guys, and they just don't have that mojo. So I mean, I that's my long-winded answer of saying that I do agree with Nick in the sense of I think some guys only see it one way. They don't see the impact of a play. And this is why they underrate guys or they don't look at guys as glowingly as like say a Tim Duncan. As great as Tim Duncan has been, people will say, oh, well, he wasn't flashy and you had Shaq on the other end. But yeah, how many championships did he win? How impactful was Tim Duncan when the Spurs needed him to score in that paint? You couldn't stop him. Kevin Garnett talks about all the time. Gotta pause these guys. So, yeah, it just sucks. Because, look, RJ is a boring player in terms of his personality and whatnot, but I just look at impact, and I wish guys did a little bit more homework on RJ Barrett to see how he was ill-developed. That's not the right word, but what he had to go through his rookie season with Keith Smart and David Fisdale, who are, I think, terrible for his game per se. Even though they did have him moving off the ball a little bit more with that team, and how he had to deal with a Randall, then a Brunson. Can never get the ball in his hands consistently, even though, again, you still have to be a competent shooter and be incompetent in other areas of your game. But yeah, I do see where Melo's coming from, but yeah, they do have that lens on. But it is what it is. And guys, stop trolling. Lord Jesus, I could track your phone numbers and all that. Come on, what are we doing here? Someone said Fizzle's trash. But last but not least, because everybody's getting mad at me. Oh, why are you talking about RJ? Lord Jesus Christ, you guys is jet life for life, man. This guy killed me. What? This a Knicks channel? Like, dogs, chill out, bro. I didn't even want to talk about RJ Barrett for more than 10 minutes. But I know Nick was the one that actually. Lord Jesus Christ. Yo, salute. Wilfredo Rivera, salute, bro. All right, I don't know how I'm trying to mute the damn. Listen, let's get to the trade talk, man. Trade talk. We have
All right.
so many players available. Trade rumors. You have Kyle Kuzma. You have obviously DeJounte Murray, which now came out that they're trying to package both DeJounte Murray and Capella, and trade them off. The only untouchables are Jalen Johnson and Trae Young. You got Bogdanovich, even though I think with OG Anunoby, that's kind of a moot point at this point. Like I said, you have Wendell Carter, Markelle Fultz. And Markelle Fultz has a freaking knee tendonitis, which just gets me.
Again? Damn.
Bruh. That because he's such an underrated playmaker. Look, the only thing he can't do is shoot.
Yeah.
But I've seen him work teams, put up 6 assists and a half like it was nothing. Facilitate, break down defenses, bro. Markelle Fultz can ball. He just can't stay healthy. And I believe he's a free agent after the season. So maybe looking for a trade piece. He's an expiring contract. So they take he's an expiring contract, so they're probably looking for some people. Then they'll most likely take on contract. All right, I'm gonna freaking next Tiva. If he's an expiring, and I'm trying to get rid of a big contract or get rid of a contract, I'd have to give him a first. But again, he's not making a lot of money. I think he's only making.
Yeah, he's not. He's
12?
a cheap contract.
12? Let me see. Markelle Fultz contract. And I'm about to just close out the next Steven, bro. This is ridiculous. This is making me laugh. So, Markelle Fultz, 50 for 3 years. He'll earn a base salary of 17, my bad. So, he's making 17 this year. It's not bad. Didn't I mute the ring? All right, let me just close down this app. My bad, yeah. I thought I actually...
You good.
So, yeah, Markelle Fultz... available, obviously, on the other side, DeMar DeRozan, I believe, is a free agent as well this season, or after the season. Tyus Jones, who I think would be a perfect, if you want a guy to run an offense, Tyus Jones, who I watched. When Ja Morant was out, bro, that Grizzlies team was humming to the point that people, even though they were crazy, but they were saying things like, oh, yo, you get Tyus Jones to replace Ja Morant. You don't need Ja Morant. I'm like, let's breathe a little bit. Tyus Jones is doing what you're asking him to do, which is run the offense, don't mess up, hit a few shots, facilitate to the Desmond Baines and the JJs, and he did a really good job of it. And right now he's with the Wizards, like they're not doing anything. They're definitely going to be sellers. Jordan Clarkson is another player I like from Utah Jazz, and they said, look, everybody from Utah is available. It is a Danny Ainge special, so it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. But Jordan Clarkson as a scorer, is he a playmaker per se? As he's going to sit up there and create for others. I don't think that's his game, but if you need a tough bucket from a wing. Again, I don't know if he goes to the bench. I don't think he wants that bench role, but if it's for a contender, you know what I mean? I think I just like Jordan Clarkson's game, offensive game, a lot. And that's a guy that grew up as a young player, as a bench role guy. Because remember, he was with the Lakers and Cleveland, and I think he fell into, like, I feel comfortable with I'm just going to be a bench guy. Now, obviously, with Utah, once he lost Donovan Mitchell, he was more. I think even with Donovan Mitchell, I think he slid into the starting role. The 1 year before Donovan Mitchell left. Andrew Wiggins, to me, big no. He's won his championship. He got his money. He has that big contract. What is he making, 30 this year? I believe.
Andrew Wiggins should be in that 30 range, yeah.
I'm scared of Andrew Wiggins. We got OG Anunoby already. Alex Caruso would have been my next guy up. If we couldn't get OG Anunoby, he probably would have been cheap. But again, Chicago did with the Knicks. And I believe, were they in the 10th spot, Chicago?
Yeah. Yeah, like 2 games. They're like two spots behind us, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, and I think we were 7th, 8th. Laurie Markkinen, he's not moving. Even though Ainge said, or allegedly Ainge said that he's not untouchable, but they said that if you're gonna give a quasi untouchable, you got to give us a quasi untouchable. Karl-Anthony Towns, let's be serious. Well, first of all, they're in first. They're not gonna trade Karl-Anthony Towns, so it's whatever. It's a moot point. But you got Rokas Jokubaitis, who I put for next year. Is definitely a name to consider, but I think Nick is gonna come back. But there are definitely some names to consider, man. Markelle Fultz. I'm not giving up a first for him. Now, the rumors that came out, the guy that's going to be is DeJounte Murray. The rumors that came out with DeJounte Murray was that the Knicks could have had him for a first in IQ. Let me get back to Nick. So Nick, I was just saying, I think the player that could have been had, or it seems most realistic at this point, would have been DeJounte Murray. Allegedly, the rumors were out there that it would have been DeJounte Murray and a first for IQ. I'm not sure if that's believable, but it does seem as if DeJounte Murray is the next guy out. It does seem like the Knicks do have some interest in him. And I think, look, he's not the most. I don't look at DeJounte Murray as. I look at him as killing two birds with one stone, right? He's not going to be a guy who's going to play largely off the ball, but we're talking about a guy who's going to be able to play make and spell for Brunson, which I think is going to be huge. We can't have games where if Brunson sits, and especially if you're trying to get deep into there's no way that you could live in the finals. Per se, we got to the finals, and Brunson has to play all 48 minutes. And this is scary as hell. I don't know why Nick did this, but this is absolutely no. You can leave it on. It's scary as hell, bro. But there's absolutely no way that Brunson could survive doing that. So I think it's gonna be DeJounte Murray. That's gonna be the next guy up. I know we've talked about. I forget who it was. I think it was Ace or somebody talked about Capella before. I think Capella's making 20 something. Oh crap! Hold up, had the wrong. 20 something this year. DeJounte Murray's making 17, and then it balloons up to like 24. I don't know why this is not working. Clint Capella contract. But I know you want to talk about trade rumors. Who do you actually think would be the best fit this team at this point? Obviously, also too Brogdon from the Blazers, another name. You know, he's injury prone as hell.
Yeah.
I like him off the bench as a scoring guy against 6 men a year last year with Boston. He played well, but there's the glut of him and Derek White. Damn, freaking! If anybody knew Derek White was going to be this, but I did not see this toughness from Derek White with the
I
Spurs.
didn't see him back.
He took some steroids allegedly. I'm joking. Please don't get me in trouble. But yeah, go ahead, Nick.
So my list starts off first and foremost with Markelle Fultz. I thought that was interesting that you brought him up.
Wow.
But of course,
By the way, you're gonna get to it because I also want to admit I want to give Nick his credit because actually this is my son and I think he'd be a good replacement. But I just don't know if half a season is enough for the Tom Thibodeau a School of Hard Knocks. But Jaden Ivey, I know you're gonna get to Jaden Ivey, but I just want to put that out there. And that was Nick's guy that he mentioned, so I want to steal it from him, but he's on the list. But go ahead, Nick.
So starting off in Markelle Fultz, I thought the contract was low enough. It is a nice move to add someone who could actually handle the rock. He's young. But then on the flip side of that was going to be Jaden Ivey. I'll tackle that one right now. So the reason why is because you want to get a contract that is low. That's why I brought up all those contract stuff earlier on. When you start talking about the contracts and start looking at money, it becomes complicated in the future. So with Jaden Ivey being on a rookie scale contract for the next 2 years, you could then actually position yourself with Brunson, OG Anunoby, all these guys, and maybe even keeping him off the bench, because that's what they're doing right now in Detroit anyway. I don't think they've moved him to the starting lineup. You keep him off the bench for a team that could potentially get to a championship level. Like, remember, Jaden Ivey is a top 5 pick. Mm-hmm. Having him off the bench is like a knock to his ego. If you tell him, hey, look, for a playoff team, because it's harder to accept being a top 5 pick coming off the bench for a team that's not going to make the playoffs versus a team that's going to make the playoffs and could potentially get to the second round, third round, whatever, because we were going to trade a lot of stuff for Jaden Ivey during that draft.
Yep.
If you say that you give up the same thing or same assets or like assets for Jaden Ivey, and he's good enough to be IQ-esque and build with that going forward, yes, it's going to be tough. You give up Malachi Flynn, you give up Precious Achua, you give up those kind of players or whatever. Like, you may not have to give up Precious, you may have to give up Sims, maybe McBride. You're not giving up Grimes in that scenario. You're just giving up what you have to, and you're saying, hey, look, give me that guy. If push come to shove, you give up Grimes. I wouldn't want to. but you're just trying to match the contract. You're trying to match the money. You're trying to make it sweeten the pot with as many draft picks as possible to still be able to make the next trade. Dallas pick is going to be very, very important because it is going to convey. If that conveys, you have 2 picks this year. You still have more of your own picks. You still have the Washington pick, which, depending on the moves that they make, may mean that they either never convey and it becomes second round picks in the future, or it conveys and you get a decent pick, but not a great pick on top of your own picks. So, like, the way the Knicks are positioning themselves, they could have picks going forward and also trade for guys. And maybe, let's say they give up a swap with Detroit or something like that to sweeten the pot. Like 3 picks, maybe a good bench player on a rookie skill contract, and it helps your money going forward. You need to help your money going forward. There's one big thing that may help us in the future when it comes to contracts, money, and all that stuff. And that's the fact that maybe because of viewership for the in-season tournament, if that actually bumps up the cap, because it's all about viewership, it's all about ratings and stuff like that, and the amount of revenue that the league makes, if that bumps up the cap, we may not need to worry about cap in the future. And we could just sign guys and keep moving forward or whatever. But we need to have rookie scale contracts. So then also too, it adds you to lean towards the draft, and that may be the third person or the person that you may have to add, someone out the draft. So now the draft becomes important again because you need to have an IQ-esque player that is young on a rookie scale contract with many years of control that you could build off of. So it's going to be tricky. I think it's going to be interesting. And if I were to get Jaden Ivey, I will do whatever I could to get Donovan Mitchell, which will be is either Donovan Mitchell or Mikal Bridges. It's either of those two. Those are the only high-priced targets I will go after.
So for Markel Fultz, his contract's coming off this season. Do you think he'll be looking for? Do you think he'll be relatively, I don't want to say expensive? Because again, when he plays, he's
good.
He's a leading guard anywhere, but he just doesn't play enough. Do you think, what type of contract do you think he'd be looking for this offseason, with in mind that the cap, with the new TV deal, he's thinking more on the pot? Well, obviously, in negotiations, he's got to be thinking, the cap is going to be going up because of this TV deal. And he get paid. So, what you think he'd get paid? He's not going to get paid again at 12.
I don't know if it's going to be like vet min. I mean, vet min is like around 12, right? Or 7? Maybe it's 7.
I think it's below that because
okay,
mid level is
might be around, let's say 10. But for his production, when healthy, that's a bargain contract. So the real question is what can you do to convince guys to take less money to come here, because we're a playoff team and we're starting to build that kind of culture and reputation now. We're starting to get people to look at us like that's a perennial playoff team, and I could add something to that team that makes them better. And yes, my services should not come cheap, but at the same time, it should. It will propel my career by playing for this franchise. We're not the Heat. We're not San Antonio in their heyday. We're not LA. But if we could continue as we are, and this is why Randall and Brunson become important, and even OG for that matter, like everyone that they add has to propel those guys or make their jobs easier. Having Donovan Mitchell would help. I think Mikal Bridges might help. Those are the only 2 guys that I would say give up more than, say, 3 draft picks for. I really wouldn't want to give up more than 3 but I'll give up 2 for Ivy, like 3-ish for either Mikel or Mitchell, and that would help you shore up your bench, shore up your starting lineup, because Dante DiVincenzo, he is shooting so freaking well right now.
Yep.
That guy, it'll be hard to bench him, but to bench him for Mikal Bridges to give you that defense and the shooting, to bench him for Donovan Mitchell, it's understandable. You can't bench him for no one else. It has to be worthwhile. Otherwise, you have to trade him. And his trade value is rising too. Like we have to add that in there.
It is. It is. It's damn Jaden Ivey 2 picks. I mean, when these protected from these teams, they take that. But I mean, they wouldn't be convinced by something that's not going to convey. So they want some assets for the future.
But the thing is, let's say we punt on this draft, which I don't think we should, but we punt on this draft. Let's say we give up our pick and also the Dallas pick. That's 2 guaranteed picks, right? For a team that's rebuilding. You
True,
give a future pick. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, though. You got to be sure that Ivy's that guy, because you're giving up one. Because, again, in these drafts, talent falls, or talent can be found somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you're also giving up 2 years of rookie scale, right? So you have to factor that in, right? So I guess, was it 2024, 2 more years to 2026, versus I could have 4 more years in 2028, where I could have a solid IQ type player going into the max Jalen Brunson and whoever else, OG with his contract years, just to your point. So, you know, I want to be very convinced that, look, if it's a Mikal Bridges type, then that's fine, right? A guy that, you know, at worst is your third best player, but that could give me defense and, you know, hit shots from the outside. It's going to be complimentary to the max at the very worst. And Ivy, who I like a lot, I even liked him last year. You know, you do have to take into account, the upside is that you are playing for a playoff team. But again, Ivy at his best when I watched for Purdue last year, and I gotta agree with Coach. I don't say he's a selfish player, but he needs the ball in his hands to be effective. For the most part.
That's why I compared him to IQ.
But IQ.
I'm not saying it's 1-to-1, but it'll give you a level of athleticism, which is what they've maintained on the bench.
Right.
It gives you a level of playmaking and creation, and also size, because he does have size, you know, at the guard position, but he did shoot the ball well, and he can shoot. So it's not like, I just feel like he is a good replacement to IQ to do some of IQ things. I'm not saying it's 1-to-1. It's just to do some IQ-like things. Because I'm not convinced with Deuce. I like Deuce's defense. I just never been convinced with his offense consistently. And he just doesn't have that burst. We need some burst on this team to, like, I could go one-on-one and just lightning quick score. Obi Toppin was the closest to a burst-like player. I mean, that's just trash. I mean, sorry, I hate to say it that way, but he had to make sure guys fall asleep to burst. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
And he was talking all that trash. He was talking trash. He
Yeah,
got
he's
random
back on the
space.
bench.
Like,
Like, come on.
yeah, right, exactly. You know, another player, even I don't think it's going to happen. They're not going to do a trade with us, but someone mentioned Ben Mathurin. I don't see it happen, but
I don't see that happening, no.
I will love Ben Mathurin on his team. But yeah, we need another creator badly. Now, Brogdon, how do you feel about Brogdon?
Which one?
Malcolm Brogdon.
Because the other bogey is up for sale too, right?
That's true,
in Atlanta. So it's not like it's worth asking, because he's good too.
Yeah, he's solid.
He could kill. I just don't want to give up anyone that would be unhealthy, because we need to come into this playoffs just fully at all strength. And this is another thing why I got to give Randall props, man. Like,
Oh,
Randall always comes through with these. He really carries us during the regular season. I think we need to give him credit for that at least some point in time.
now he gets credit. He's an Iron Man. I give him a lot of credit, bro. He whether look he's been Mr. Consistent, Mr. Iron Man for most of
Yeah.
his time here. I mean, last year was literally an anomaly where he twisted his ankle twice within 4 weeks, which is just like
Yeah.
dogs. That's you try to play on
That's
a bum
tough.
leg in the playoffs. It's extremely tough. So I give it to Randall. I do want to talk about the cap stuff. I want to do an episode on the cap stuff because it is important. How do you build post 25, 26 was a major year. I would love, and again, it's most likely not going to happen, but this is when I'll be fully convinced the front office, unless we win a championship before then. If we could poach Jason Tatum as a free agent,
Oh, bro.
I'm just saying. I know. Yo, look, say what y'all want. I'm still in love with Jason Tatum's game. I don't give a damn
I do
what people
too,
say.
Britt.
Man, I get it, and I understand he may not leave the Celtics or whatever, but I'm just saying if the front office can find a way, because you already have channels coming out. There was a not a channel, it was a Twitter guy that was talking about the illegalities, if that's even a word, of what the Knicks did regarding OG Anunoby's contract. Even though
Yeah, there's some shady stuff going on. They
but
pulling
there's shady
strings.
stuff going on all over the league. Come
Yeah.
on, the Lakers. And,
Yeah,
and
I
when
mean-
they couldn't get a Chris Paul, come on, bro. We can go down the line of shady ish.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on. Let me just throw this out there too. If the Warriors blow it up
Don't say Clay.
and they cut Chris Paul, would you take him as the backup then?
As the backup, would I take?
That's
Chris
my
Paul
last
as a
one.
Backup and how? Well, they cut him and waive. You could sign him to whatever.
Yeah, we could sign him because we have a lot of exceptions.
We have 2 exceptions. Yeah, we have 11
Two
million in
exceptions.
exceptions.
We can't add them together, so we
Can't
could
add
give
them,
him
yep.
like 7.8 million in the
Yep.
max.
Yes, I would.
Okay. All right.
For playoff run. Yes.
I'm gonna leave that for a second. Hold on.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. What's gonna happen now? What is he gonna show now? We need a backup guard badly on this team. I'm talking about a guy who could break down defenses, who could play make for others, create for others. Badly. And if I could sign Chris Paul on the cheap and I'll have another option, I'm not trying to give up a first for Ivy or first for Markel Fultz. Markel Fultz matches perfectly with Fournier, but they're not going to do that. I would do that. Let me see. Bogdan and Fultz going to get hurt. That's true, bro. They get hurt every year, bro. And I like both of them. More so Brogdon. Fultz was kind of like I didn't like him as the number 1 pick. I thought Tatum should have been not Tatum. De'Aaron Fox should have been the guy. But I got mad phlegm. But the Knicks got another creator now. DeJounte Murray and his contract, are the Knicks okay with him being possibly the guy that if you're not re-signing Brunson to a max, are you fine with DeJounte Murray and DeJounte Murray and Spider? Why is Nick laughing? Oh, I thought Nick was smiling.
No, I'm not laughing.
Would you be okay with DeJounte Murray and Spider, Donovan Mitchell, if you couldn't re-sign Brunson for whatever reason?
Hell no. Why? Are you kidding me?
I was just asking. But I want to do an episode on that cap, man.
I know DeJounte Murray is like your son or whatever, but I just don't feel like. Okay, let me ask you this question because that really is the next thing for on my docket with DeJounte Murray. Are you disappointed with how he's looked since leaving San Antonio?
Not necessarily because, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I just saw this tackle on the Rams. That dude is, I don't know if how he's alive, but not per se because Trae Young has a system where you can't be, you have to play a certain way, right? You have to be an off-ball shooter or a big man. He's gonna roll to the back. He has his own system. He can't move off. His father's like, oh, you can play off the ball. He doesn't. He's not playing off the ball.
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray was a guy with the Spurs that developed as a guy who plays very well off the ball, not great off the ball. And I think that right now some of his game is kind of getting muddied up with Trae Young.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily. I'm disappointed that they couldn't make it work, even though it was gonna take a long. Someone's gonna have to concede, and neither of them really did it or did it for the other. So
Yeah.
I would like to see DeJounte Murray outside that system. I will say I'm disappointed that DeJounte hasn't, even though he led the league in steals, I think steals per game, I believe, 2022, and obviously had the ACL injury. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't take a back seat and kind of say, you know what, I'll try to be more complimentary and also play good defense. His defense, I mean, I've seen him getting killed on backdoor cuts and stuff. It's like, what is he doing? So I'm a little disappointed in that. But in terms of his talent and what he could do if he has a ball in his hands more, no, I think he still do. I think if he comes to the Knicks, only thing is that he'd have to like cut to the basket and he'd have to truly work on his catch and shoot in the corner. I would like to see if Tom Thibodeau, if he came in, how Tom Thibodeau would set him up. But I think DeJounte Murray, when we talk about late in games, you're talking about the important second, the big swath in that second quarter or in the late third quarter going into the fourth quarter. You need that playmaker to kind of spell Brunson. I would love DeJounte Murray with the squad. So I'm not disappointed. It's just Trae Young needs a certain. I personally think they're gonna move on from Trae Young. I know they say he's untouchable. I
think so too.
I think it's more so like
said
who's
they
gonna trade for
should,
him.
but
I think so too. Look, Trae Young is a good player. He's just too limited. People complain about Brunson. Wow. I don't know if y'all watch Trae Young. And Trae Young, when he's not getting those foul calls, it's a different. He's not the same. And I like Trae Young's talent. He's not the same without those foul calls. So the NBA knows what they're doing protecting him. That's why in the playoffs he typically does not look the same. He's not getting those foul calls. But I'm not disappointed in DeJounte Murray. But. So
the thing that I thought about with DeJounte Murray, and I don't know, I didn't do like a trade machine on this, but I do feel like Cleveland, Fournier, and whatever to Atlanta, so they could replenish their cupboard or whatever it is, and then we get Spider. I thought that was an interesting way to like swap players around. Don't know if it's perfect. Can't say that it should be perfect, but I do feel like it's coming to a head. I really don't like Trae Young, man.
Me neither.
I do feel like something needs to shake up in Atlanta, and I really feel like Trae Young is the one that should leave. I don't think he should be the one to stay.
I agree. I've telling you, I watched those Hawks games. I would say this too, man. Jalen Johnson.
How many coaches is that? Yeah, he looks good, but how many coaches are around Trae Young? He's done 4 coaches so far. He's on his 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Snyder, McMillan, Lloyd Pierce. I don't think anybody else besides that. But yeah, he's with 3 coaches.
Okay.
And
so that's 3 coaches.
And Blitz is now available for Apex.
Ultimately, I mean, even Snyder is like trying to apologize and. I don't know.
Because you got to put so much around Trae Young for it to work. And it's like, you're always going to have to hide him on defense. Thank God the Knicks didn't have another guard. If Reggie Bullock could post up, bro. Thank God the Knicks didn't have another guard to attack Trae Young. They were hiding Trae Young it was pathetic. It worked against the Knicks. They had enforcers like Solomon Hill and all these freaking dirty-ass players. But yeah, he's a guy that has to go. I'm trying to think of some other teams right now. Like, I watch, obviously, the freaking what's-the-names had nothing yesterday for the Knicks. The Grizzlies. Because I know World West is probably there trying to scout somebody. He's like, damn, there's absolutely no one here on the Grizzlies. Blazers, obviously,
so you're a World Wide West fan now? What's going on?
I don't want to say anything too bad because, but no, I'm not a fan of World West. But
I just feel like and this is the why I came to Jaden Hype. He is with CAA, and it'll just be interesting if they pull that card. Like, I didn't want to be here in the first place. I wanted to be a Knick in the beginning, and he starts kicking up some dust. I don't want to play off the bench for a team that's losing. Like, there's an avenue where CAA could pull muscle, and
Well,
this is
sorry,
the thing
which player you
about
talking about?
CAA.
Which player you
Huh?
talking about? Which player you talking about?
Jaden Ivey.
Oh, Jaden Ivey. Oh, he's CAA.
Yeah, yeah, he's CAA.
Wait, I show. Oh, they didn't put him on. So I looked up the CAA website
Mafia?
for all the players. Yeah, they don't. I mean, I guess he's not a top player like that, but they didn't.
No, he's not. Yeah.
They didn't have him featured in the what's the name, which is kind of it's kind of sad. But yes, go. Because I have another question.
Yeah, but I just felt like that was. I don't know if his watches. Yeah, at CAA Pro Day. Yeah. I just feel like that because they pull their muscle with OG Anunoby. I just felt like he's young enough they could pull something. Maybe I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if the next person is also CAA as well.
I do wonder about this. They made OG turn into here's a smack in the face. If OG gets paid and it shows that CAA can get you paid but Clutch can't. So I am interested in seeing how, and obviously that's not necessarily true, but it is. All these guys take every little win that they can. I do wonder if they have the sit down meeting, what will be discussed. Does that mean that CAA is no longer poaching guys and trying to make them turn or switch their agencies, at least from Clutch? Obviously, you have Wasserman and WMG, WME and all these other agencies out there. But I am interested in that sit down between the two. I think that's big for Leon Rose. Because you can't operate on the island. The whole CAA thing. Look, unless you're trading for Booker, it's most likely not going to happen.
He's going to come here as a free agent. Let's be honest.
I can only pray that Booker comes in. By the way, before you guys hate on Booker, tell you he's soft. Stop. Stop. Well, I understand he doesn't play great defense, but I've seen Booker do the same mid-range move on OKC. I've seen him do the same. I'm going to get to the elbow. I'm gonna get to the wing. The same jumper. It doesn't even look fast. He's not blown right past you. He gets to he's one of the best at getting to his spots. If the Knicks could get Booker, that's easy. Well, depending on the rest of the team, that's the piece you look at and say, championship or bust with Booker. And I know the Suns are probably looking that way too, but the Suns, Kevin Durant and Bill get hurt and whatever. But let's not disrespect Booker. Booker is him.
Yeah.
But I do wonder about the agencies and how that does impact like going forward if they can make good with a Clutch.
They're playing nice with everybody else. I'm never impressed by Clutch though. Okay, all their guys got paid. But then there are a lot of guys who they're just up for trades, like Murray. Let's go down the list.
They got
It's
Lonzo.
Murray. It's Levine.
They got Barchamp. Oh, let me see. Hold on, let me do this by years of service. All right. So, who the hell is that? Trap Basala Bagayok. All right. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me do it the other way.
Baba Yaga?
But so I don't know. Some young dude. So LeBron James, John Wall. Eric Bledsoe's returning right now. Tristan Thompson, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, KCP, Jordan Clarkson.
Nope.
You wouldn't take a Jordan? Wow. Jeremy Grant.
No.
Zach LaVine, Yusuf Nurkic, Trey Lyles, Malcolm Brogdon. Oh, that's important. DeJounte Murray.
But the Brogdon thing is too, and someone brought this up, that he used to be CAA as well. He just joined Clutch. So he might still favor it. He might come to New York because of it. But I mean, I like Brogdon. I just don't want to get him and he gets hurt.
Let me ask you about a player. I'm not the biggest fan of this guy, but I'm not the biggest fan of this guy, but for some stupid reason, I would think Tibbs might like him just because of Bulldog mentality. I'm not sure if he's a high enough IQ player because I don't think he is. What about Colin Sexton? I'm not a fan of Colin Sexton, but he also makes big money. Hold on. You might make some big money.
And he makes money too. He is Clutch as well.
Yep.
Let I don't know. Okay. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna flip this back on you just a
17
little
million.
bit. To me, my answer, I could write down my answer if you want. My answer would be no initially. But how much of an improvement is he over Deuce? And let's use it in a plus minus way. Like his defense might not be as good, but his offense is gonna make up for it. Like how much better is he than Deuce? Is his offense that good?
I think if you have him in just attack the basket type of microwave, just shoot out the cannon offense for him,
Mm-hmm.
he might be more valuable in a sense that he could spell Brunson minutes.
Okay.
Where I have that created because we talked about a guy who just beat his man 1-on-1.
Yeah, we did.
And as much as I like Deuce and his complimentary play, Deuce is not a shutdown guy per se.
Yeah, he's not.
So I think Colin gives you more value. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Colin. For all the people in the chat, I don't like his game whatsoever. But when I'm just looking at it from basic surface level, I need somebody to just go out there and give me buckets. I need somebody to collapse defenses and open up the outside. Because if you watch what the Knicks do when Brunson sits and we try to run that 5-out offense, look at the outside defense. They just literally stand on the perimeter. They don't move on the inside. Because like, why am I moving it? No one's gonna come into the inside. No one can beat the defense up top. So, again, too many years.
That's one of the reasons why I said Jaden Ivey again. I still come back to it. All right, so
he is. I can't
now
get him too first though.
The big thing about money is Colin Sexton makes like in the 20 millions, right? Like 23.
Colin Sexton, he's actually cheapish. He makes 17 this year, 18 next year, 18.9 the next year.
Okay, so he's pretty much Evan Fournier.
Right.
All right. So that kind of changes things a little bit.
But do you
for
want
the
for those
money
many years though? The money's not bad, but those many years.
The money's not bad because I was gonna say if he was in the 20 mil range, then this is why I ruled out Clarkson. I think Clarkson's in the 20 mil range, right?
Clarkson, I think is. Hold up. I think he's actually not bad. He might be in the same range as well too. Hold up, let me check. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's cheap as hell. He is. So he signed an extension.
Oh no, you're right. He's 23 mil this year.
But then 14. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Crazy play option.
He had a bonus this year. Yeah, he had a big bonus because they paid him on the back end for this contract. I do remember that.
Got you.
So,
that's
the reason why I say that I bring up the money in this particular situation. He's up for another contract, right? He's due for 14 next year, according to Spotrac. At 23 mil, let's say he was to ask for 23 mil again, right? You did not want to pay IQ 23 mil. So
that's true.
Like I can't see the backup guy getting more than 18 mil unless the cap spikes, like really spike because of the in-season tournament. So that's a complication that has to be added in there.
This is tough.
Yeah, it's real tough. It's a lot to suss out, but
because what do you want for the future? I don't want to give up years to a guy who I can't see building, possibly sliding into even a starter's role. If something happened with Brunson, or if I need somebody to play alongside Brunson in the 2 spot for whatever reason, or just alongside Brunson.
Okay, I would love to just come back again to Jaden Ivey.
I know, no. I like Jaden Ivey. I just, I swear on my life, I agree with you. I just can't give up 2 first rounders. I just, in this year's draft too. I know it's supposed to be weak, whatever. But I'm gonna find me a piece. I'm gonna get me Ryan Dunn from Virginia. I'm gonna get my versatile big. that could run the floor, that could start the 4-5. That we don't sign Randall, he could be a replacement. That I could have him. You want to play small ball, and you need somebody to spell iHeart, or whatever, Mitch, whatever. However you want to say we don't have iHeart anymore. We talking about these cheap players that in 1 or 2 years they're fat. I don't want to say fast risers, but guys I can slide in by the second season and he's a contributor. And I don't have to worry about money for the next 4 years with him. That's how I'm looking at it. Like I trust me. I don't want to miss out on that type of. I know it's gonna be the top end is gonna be Rob Dillingham, and then a whole bunch of solid players underneath that, or some solid players underneath that. I just don't know if 2 firsts, especially Dallas and our pick. Even though I guess our pick is not gonna be great, and then Dallas's pick is not gonna be. Right now they're in 8th right now, I believe 8th, 7th.
Yeah.
So, this sucks, man.
Our pick is somewhere in between 18 and 21 right now, and Dallas's pick is 17. If the draft was to start today.
Can you package that and move up? Just
to who? I mean, we could get an OKC pick maybe, but not gonna get a pick from Detroit. Because like Detroit right now is in the number 1, more or less number 1.
Right.
Detroit, San Antonio, Washington, Charlotte, Portland, Memphis, San Antonio again. They have a traded pick. Atlanta is number 8th. Houston gets Brooklyn's pick. I think Brooklyn's pick is top 10, like top 5 protected, I think. It might be protected this year. Pick protected. I'm just trying to like suss this out a little bit. So I'm just going off the top 10, and then Golden State goes to Portland. Chicago at 11. They keep that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't see who you get 2 OKC picks at 13, 14. Is someone real valuable? You're the draft guy now, so like is someone really valuable at 13, 14 to get an OKC pick? And then New Orleans at 12.
Besides Ryan Dunn, if they have Rob Dillingham dropping on Tankathon, but I think he might go higher than that. Alexander Sarr, have him at the number 1 pick. He's not going to be that. At the end of I watched him. Nah, Alexander Sarr is not that dude. At least from what I've seen, as a number 1 pick, he may be a solid player in the future, but nah. I like Khalil Ware.
Are you gonna? Dillingham is like one of the best point guards, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be the number 1 pick. I think number 1 and number 2, but
number 1 pick. Okay, whoa, okay.
Yeah, right now Tankathon has him like 11. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
This might be a little bit out. Even I thought they updated it not every day, but more often than this. But yeah, it might be your man Ryan Dunn from Virginia. Big who can run the floor, fast break, not just like OG Anunoby, Obi Toppin, but good defender coming from that Virginia system. Disciplined defender, can shoot a little bit. As well too, even though if you look at his numbers, they don't pop out, but his shot is not broken whatsoever. You can work with him. Damn, this draft does suck. Zach Edey. That would be the only guy I really want to trade up for.
Right.
Isaiah Collier, hell no. Kyle Filipowski, nope.
And then Ron Holland is not highly rated, right?
No. Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I thought he had dropped, but okay.
Nah, this draft is trash.
Yeah, this draft was rough.
Yo, I was like, yo, some of these guys, Khalil Ware, when he transferred from Oregon, and there are concerns about his offensive game. I like Bobby Klintman. He went over. I think he go overseas he went overseas, I believe. Yeah, he went to the NBL. Played at Wake Forest last year. He's a development piece. He has a lot to work on this game, man. Yeah. I might give it those picks, bro. I might
You might give them
think
up,
about
right?
it. I might
See
think
what
about
I
giving
mean?
those picks.
See what I mean? Like,
So I'm just saying the only guy I would trade up for is Ryan Dunn. Other than that, nah. But I
And
gotta watch some of these guys at the back end because again, if you're looking for an IQ type, there's gonna be somebody out there that we're
I'm
not
not.
looking at right
I
now.
agree with you, but you still come into that same thing I was talking about when you could get Ivy. It's not like Ivy is not developing; he is doing something. You know what I mean? Like, so you could trade for him, get something for that. That'll be a bench player that you could at least say, "Hey, look, you're already coming off the bench, but this is a playoff team." And
True.
if we don't get Spider, if we don't get like say Mikal Bridges or something, something big, you could sit here and say, well, hey, look, we gave up 2 picks, we gave up a center, a good defensive point guard that could hit some threes and deuce, something like that, or Malachi Flynn. Hey, look, you got something. We just want a guy to get to the rim. And Tibbs is going to keep it simple. Get to the rim, get downhill, make passes. That's it. And hit
Right.
open shots when you can.
And some other guys too, even DJ Wagner, could fall down. By the way,
Yeah,
I
he's
said
not even
for you guys in the
wonders.
chat, Mitch Robinson's replacement, Aaron Bradshaw from UK, but that's the top of another day. Yeah, but yeah, I got to think on this Ivy thing. I like Ivy, but and this might be.
I'm just saying, it was. I really just am trying to
Oh, hold on,
suss it out because
someone said they'd rather have Killian Hayes. Stop, guys, stop. Hell no, Nick. Don't even. Try
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying you're just asking for is Killian Hayes better than Malachi Flynn?
No.
Is he better than
No.
Deuce? Because he's a defensive player. Is he better than Deuce?
No.
Okay, so then you don't need Killian Hayes. Then you just stick with what you have,
Right.
and then draft someone if you believe that you're going to get what you want in the draft. Because this is the same thing that we went through with what do you call it? That Ivy draft. We traded out of it as soon as we couldn't get Ivy. So we just push back, get more picks, and in the future, and hopefully we get a player out of it. It's just because you got to keep flipping these. We can't keep adding players and not flip some of these guys. We have to flip some of these guys over.
Agreed. And it is good that guys, even though I don't want to trade, but like you said, Don DiVincenzo is building value. McBride, if you can continue this, builds some type of value. It would have been nice if Grimes could freaking do something.
Grimes got value. It's just, you value Grimes? You don't value.
What?
Grimes has value. You don't value him.
No, it's not that I don't value. Yo, hold on. Your man Quentin Grimes is looking like trash, bruh. He's looking like trash. What can he do on the floor? He's supposed to be a defensive stopper. He ain't that. He's supposed to hit threes consistently somewhere. He ain't that. We're not even going to talk about him working on the ball and using screen. He ain't that. So what the hell is he, bro? What's his value?
Bro, I'm just throwing it out there for you. But, you can stop right there because you. I even gave like a shout out.
Nah. Yeah, we're gonna end the show. We're ending the show right here. Yeah. Y'all see my son's eating? Yeah. Because everybody doubted me. Oh, what Gmo? He doesn't know he's talking about McBride. Remember back in the day, Coach? Where you at, Coach? Talking about Trey Murphy. Now y'all want to trade for Trey Murphy. By the way,
you know what? Trey Ban too.
One of my favorite players to watch, my young players to watch, Jordan Hawkins. If y'all saw what he did yesterday to the Mavericks, that dude, old school 2-guard snipe, brings tears to my eyes, man. I'm an Allen Houston fan. That was my favorite player growing up. I'm a Michael Redd fan. I love snipers, like snipers who Rip Hamilton off of curls, screens, weaving off, doing the elevator play to get up, bro. That's the NBA I love. And to see what Jordan Hawkins could do shooting wise,
this guy.
Have you watched any Jordan Hawkins, or are you just gonna hate?
No, I hadn't.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
I mean, I know he's good. I just hadn't watched him.
All right, that's cool. I just making sure.
Yeah.
But Nick, I appreciate you being on, man. We do have to do this again, especially on the cap stuff, because that is uber important. How do the Knicks build for the future? Again, Jaden Ivey is a major name to look at because the talent is there. The Pistons are in disarray, so you should be a vulture on these teams where there's there's chaos, and you could poach some good talent for the cheap. But we definitely have to talk about this. Guys, I appreciate you guys being here, man. Rock with me is almost 100 people in the chat. I didn't even think I was going to have that much again on a Sunday, playoff Sunday, man. You guys are the best. I appreciate you. If you can, hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Please, Nick, I know Nick has all these ideas, but he has 2 kids and all his
Bro, I was going to cancel today, too. You just don't know.
all his video hosts just keep getting dashed. It's like a kid trying for like the basketball team. They work out all summer, and they just something happens, and it's like forget it. I'm just giving all my hopes and dreams, bro. Because every time Nick be having some great ideas, and he'll be like, yo, I'm working on this video, blah blah, and he'll be like, yes, I ain't doing this guy.
It hurts, man.
It does. It hurts, man. If only we had these opportunities in our youth, man. But Nick, please, can you at least shout out your channel so when you do magically create a video?
I'm gonna do clips off of this just to let people know. And I'm gonna post it on mine, so you could just look forward to it. It's Logically Knicks, even though I got my lower third as G Moby hating. Yeah, just Logically Knicks. Just like and subscribe, man. I got some stuff coming, so just look out for it. I got the Randall video, so that's coming. I know Gmo don't like that.
The Randall video.
And that's pretty much it, man.
This guy's bugging out. And by the way, I'm gonna steal Jaden Ivey. I'll give you all the props. I'm not saying I don't think of this. I'm just gonna come up with a video of guys I think we should trade for. 5 young players. Because I have some other players too, man. Trade man for the future, and again, cheap guys that you think about. Hey, how to replace IQ, and the money's not going to be crazy, but they have a place to grow into. But definitely going to cover that in a small short video. But guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Peace, Lou. God bless. The likes on your way out. Make sure to leave a comment if you can once the video's ended. This is not a live 4-hour video. It's about an hour and a half or whatever we did. So please hit the damn. Leave the comments. That helps the algorithms, helps the channel. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys, man. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We played a Magic. That should be a tough matchup. I believe they lost against OKC. I think they lost against OKC yesterday. Yesterday or 2 days ago. So again, it's going to be a tough matchup for us, but it should be a good game in the Garden. I think Brunson is back with a calf injury, or from the calf injury, so we'll see. But until then, peace to God bless, and hit that rock. And of course, in transition,